Hi there. Welcome to Apple World, I swear. Any lady who has been separated from you in that year will realize you have warnings on the off chance that it won't work. Jeezy and Jeannie are getting separated, and he's the one who documented it. Also, this is structured like TMZ. This is from the Atlanta Diary Constitution. So it seems that Jeezy and Jeannie Mai's separation will be a turbulent wreck since they are presently hauling each other via web-based entertainment and spilling all that frightful tea. Jeezy as of late walloped Jeannie with the legal documents, and it appears as though she won't accept this without a fight since she just hammered Jeezy for utilizing and unloading her. Indeed, Jeezy fired back, and you all will have a hard time believing the genuine explanation that he really sought legal separation. Did Jeannie truly undermine Jeezy? Yo, that new Jeannie and Jay-Z had the web going off the deep end? You know, it was simply consistent occasions where I recently realized that this wouldn't turn out for me, correct? So I needed to figure out some way to change without losing everything. Tune in. The web has been in unadulterated ruins over the past few days since we just figured out that Jeezy petitioned for legal separation. Fans have been in unadulterated shock from the news since we really felt that things were going perfectly among them and that their marriage was serious areas of strength, as could be expected. At the end of the day, there were no gossipy tidbits about a separation between them, which is odd in light of the fact that we generally hear separate from tales, weeks and even a very long time before the legal documents are even marked. However, in this situation, there were positively no sign to point issues in the marriage. Truth be told, the fresh insight about the separation was abrupt to such an extent that it overwhelmed Jeannie herself. Definitely. You heard that, right? It just so happens that Jeannie herself didn't actually realize there were issues in her marriage, and she was totally walloped by Jay-Z's activities. Fans were distraught at Jeezy when we figured out that he didn't actually converse with Jeannie prior to documenting, in light of the fact that that was the absolute minimum that he might have done if he had any desire to end the marriage. Presently, individuals were her allies from the get-go on the grounds that they accepted that she was the casualty in the story. Also, she has placed Jeezy on impact, blaming him for utilizing her and afterward unloading her when he became wary of messing around. What's more, as per an insider, she is truly harmed and sorrowful over this, since she truly felt that she and Jeezy were the final plan since he had her conflict with her own convictions. Presently, in the event that you don't have a clue, prepare your teacups since we're going to begin spilling all the tea. Presently, I couldn't say whether you all know this, however, Jeezy is really Jeannie's subsequent spouse. Her most memorable spouse was a man named Freddie Artis, and they were hitched for a long time before Jeannie chose to petition for legal separation. As indicated by her, the explanation the marriage ended was that she didn't need children, and he concluded that he needed some considerably more. She sort of indicated that Freddie undermined her, however. She didn't emerge and say it straightforwardly. Nonetheless, her ex uncovered that he had gotten one more lady pregnant half a month after he and Jenny split, and this sort of affirmed that he did for sure undermine Jenny. This would make sense of why Jeannie was totally against the possibility of marriage. After her separation, she promised that she could at no point ever get hitched in the future since she had a terrible involvement in her most memorable marriage, that she had at absolutely no point ever needed to do it in the future, and that nothing could at any point adjust her perspective. Indeed, that was until she met the blockhead kid Jeezy, and he gave her some hooligan inspiration one-on-one, and they fell head over heels very quickly. The two of them had an association from the exact second that they met. What's more, as per Jeannie, she quickly realizes that she and Jeezy were intended to be. We're developed. We're in our 40s. Furthermore, my thought process is that God some way or another dealt with our timing, so we invested energy after our drawn-out connections. We both came from long-term connections, and we truly chipped away at ourselves to truly comprehend what sound love is like. Jeezy didn't burn through any time either, and he quickly put on Jeannie. They went on their most memorable date several days after they met, and the date went on for 8 hours since they had such an incredible association, and they didn't believe the date should end. So I stroll in, I plunk down, and after 4 hours, we shut down the sushi cafe. We had the most astounding and profound discussion about our most noteworthy examples throughout everyday life, our most prominent slip-ups. It was really helpless, correct? So then, from that point forward, he takes a gander at me, and he's like, "Yo, you need to, as I don't have any idea. I would rather not return home. Would you like to go salsa hitting the dance floor with me?" Gracious pause. No doubt. 8 hours on the first day is somewhat insane. What's more, it simply shows how extreme their association was. It didn't take long for them to begin dating authoritatively, and it was all daylight and rainbows for them since they were only so infatuated. Jeannie just couldn't quit discussing Jeezy and how in love they were, and yakety yak. I need to let you know that after getting to know Jay, you all know him as Jay-Z's. Jay to me, getting to realize him has been one of the most lovely encounters of my life. Indeed, things move rapidly for them. What's more, in under 2 years, Jeezy proposed to her, and she said, indeed, obviously. Gracious, and recall how she promised that she was never under any circumstances going to get hitched again in light of the fact that her most memorable marriage gave her a negative impression? Indeed, Jeezy, the snowman, figured out how to persuade her to offer marriage another opportunity with him since he planned to treat her better and all that cutesy stuff. They got hitched in 2021, and that was whenever Jeannie first broke her own conviction for him. Yet, hello, things were perfect between them during their marriage, and he even figured out how to persuade. I sincerely apologize for having children, which makes it the second time she broke her convictions for him while she brought forth their lovely little girl, Monaco, in January 2022. What's more, this was when individuals began to advise her to look out when it came to him. Presently, on the off chance that you're asking why individuals felt like this is on the grounds that Jeezy doesn't have a decent connection with his other child's mom. He had 3 children prior to getting married to Jeannie, and he isn't friendly with any of his child moms. In the event that they're not hauling him for not paying youngster support, then he's hauling them and calling them broke. Indeed, Miss Jeannie was Stevie to the BS, and she uncovered that she was available to have additional children with Jeezy from a major family. What's more, Jeezy's family is enormous, and it's simply everyone. So I'm figuring you should add a kin to the family. Could it be said that you are checking that out? This resembles the time. So, we are available for it. Gracious, definitely, totally. Okay. However, it appears though the situation was truly unique among him and Jeannie in light of the fact that he treated her well, and it appeared as though they were going to live cheerfully ever later. Indeed, that is, until he haphazardly chose to petition for legal separation last week. Currently, similar to what I said, this came as an enormous shock to Jeannie too. At the end of the day, it was simply last week that she made a post praising the outcome of his new book. She posted a genuinely charming video on Instagram of her and their girl, and she composed, "Today I commend a noteworthy achievement accomplished by my better half, Jeezy, whose diary difficulty available to be purchased has taken off to the New York Times blockbuster list. This second isn't simply a demonstration of your scholarly abilities, child, but an acknowledgement of your capacity to motivate through the force of narrating. I'm perpetually thankful for your voice in this world. I wish to stroll alongside you, my affection." All things considered, individuals began to think that Jeezy probably realized that he needed to have a separation sometime prior to recording, implying that he purposely sucker-punched Jeannie. The last time he posted her on his virtual entertainment was on Mother's Day in May, and he said, "A blissful Mother's Day, Mrs. Jenkins? We were unable to maintain a reasonable level of control without you. You are the sovereign. Much obliged to you for making us a family." Hey, presently, he could never have told Miss Jeannie Mai in light of the fact that she wouldn't go out that way. Presently, he said all that in May. However, court reports showed that he had begun the separation cycle back in June. He even got his mark and was authenticated in those days. So he realized without a doubt that he planned to leave Jeannie. Yet he said nothing to her. For quite a long time, they had been on a few dates and family occasions between June and now, which is simply crazy since he truly was around here concealing this huge mystery. Presently, I realize that Jeannie Mai wouldn't go out that way. Yet as per insiders, Jeannie has placed him on impact since she accepts that he has been utilizing her for such a long time. She can actually hardly imagine how he has been misleading her this entire time and feels as though she doesn't actually have any idea who he is any longer. She additionally feels double-crossed that he convinced her to have children when he realized that she didn't need kids. just for him to dump her like a hot potato. At the time, he felt like he was finished with her. She is irate with him, not entirely settled on uncovering him for the beast that he truly is. However, you all know Jeezy isn't lying back and allowing Jeannie to defame him like that, since he is presently terminating back at her. As indicated by the snowman, Jeezy himself, the genuine reason he petitioned for legal separation was that he figured out that she was sneaking near and going behind his back with her cohab, Mario Lopez. Oh, kid. As per reports, he found coy and wicked instant messages among her and Mario. In any case, for reasons unknown, he maintained his mystery for quite a long time. Goodness, he remembers the big picture. While fresh insight about the undertaking wasn't exactly to be expected for fans, since individuals have consistently gotten on coy energy among Mario and Jeannie,